Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Izzy and today I'm going to be talking about dog walking through Rover. Now I was a dog walker through Rover for about 4 months or so while I lived in Chicago. And I'm just going to say right now, you have to pretty much be in a larger city to be able to actually find jobs, but I'll get more into that later. I'm just kind of giving you a quick background right now. But yeah, I did it in Chicago for about 4 months or so, and the sign-up process was super easy. All you got to do is really fill in some stuff online. You do have to pay for a background check, which kind of sucks, but after about 1 or 2 walks, it's all paid back already, so it's not too bad. And then that makes you a dog walker, or, pet sitter as well. But where I found you really get the jobs is to become an on-demand walker, which is basically just people will request a walk and they won't request you, they'll just request somebody to come and walk their dog or come pet sit their dog, and whoever clicks on it first, whichever walker clicks on it and takes the job first, gets it and goes out and does it right away. Like, no wait, you go out and do it within 30 minutes and then that's it. So it's on-demand walking, and to do that you have to go and take an in-person test at the Rover location nearest to you. So mine was just, a mile away or so in Chicago, probably not even, probably like half a mile away. So I took the bus there one morning, took the test, and was an on-demand dog walker. And they tell you how to prepare for this test beforehand. There's all these videos online showing you how, and all you do is put on different types of collars onto a fake dog. And there's tons of videos online. You only have to do 5 of them. It's all pretty easy, and as long as you know how to put on those 5 different collars, you are good to go and you can pass the test. They also send you a shirt as well. And so yeah, you basically have to be an on-demand walker, as I found, because otherwise it's super hard to get jobs. Especially if you're a beginner, you're not going to get anybody like requesting you because you don't have any, reviews or anything under your belt yet. So I found being on demand is the best way to do it because you don't have to have any reviews. It can be your first time. You just go click on it and go dog walk. Otherwise, if you're not an on-demand one, people have to request you and you have to accept their time that they want you to come and do it. But on-demand is the best, in my opinion. So I'm going to quickly talk about how great dog walking is in general, because I absolutely loved dog walking down in Chicago. First of all, I was having a lot of anxiety and loneliness at this time, so I found that dog walking really helped with stress. First of all, you get to see all these amazing different dogs, and it's so much fun, especially if you're an animal person and love, dogs. It's so much fun to go and pet all these dogs and say hello, and they're all excited to see you, and it just makes you really happy. I also got to see a lot of different neighborhoods and suburbs of Chicago that I never would have normally walked around. So like during the holidays, and like Halloween time especially, all the houses out there, people decorate out there. You can't decorate downtown Chicago, your little house, so it was so much fun to walk around and see all these cute little neighborhoods all decorated, and all of these things that you wouldn't normally get to see downtown where I lived. So I loved exploring the city. You also get to make your own hours, which is absolutely amazing if you're an on-demand walker. And like I said before, if you're not on demand, people have to request you and you have to respond with their time. But on demand, you can do it whenever you're free, as long as there's jobs available, which I'll talk about later. But yeah, say you have a whole afternoon free, you don't have any school or work or anything, you just go look and see who needs a dog walk right now, take it and go. And sometimes it'll even be for later in the day. Say there's one at 2 o'clock and it's only like noon right now. Okay, I'm free at 2, I'll take that walk and go and do it then. So you can just make your hours, and it's super nice in that way. You also get to go into other people's apartments. Especially in Chicago, they were all these high-rise apartments, upscale, cool-looking apartments right on the water and just all over. If you can afford a dog walker, you can afford a nice apartment in Chicago. So I had so much fun looking at all these apartments. I'm a person who loves to look at houses, so that was just another amazing perk of the job. So next I'm going to talk about the money. You make $12 for a half-hour walk and $18 for an hour-long walk. And if there's more than one dog, they add an extra $3 for you. So if you walk 2 dogs for a half hour, you get $15. If you walk 2 dogs for an hour, you get $21. So that's kind of how the money works. And if you do 3 walks a day, you're making, a good amount of money. But the thing is, it takes a while to get into the apartment, get the dog, walk back out, do the actual walk, go back up, let the dog go, and then make it to your next, destination. That took the longest for me. I would take all these jobs that were a half hour out, sometimes even an hour out. So it'd take me, an hour to get there, do an hour-long walk, an hour back, and it took me 3 hours and I'd get $18. So it wasn't always the most efficient way, but say there was a walk within a couple blocks and I could just walk there within 10 minutes. That was the best for me anyway, but there wasn't a ton near me. It was mainly out in the suburbs. So like I would take these walks that were, 10 minutes away, and it would take me only a few minutes to get there, only a few minutes to get back. So overall I was gone for about an hour and I'd make, $12. So it evens itself out. And sometimes people are super nice and they give you tips, which is the greatest. I didn't get tips very often now, so I wasn't expecting it at all, but when it did happen, it was really nice. And then availability is very difficult. Like if you don't live in a big city, you're not going to get very many jobs, and it's probably not worth it. So like even in Chicago sometimes I would have a hard time finding jobs, and being on demand, everybody else is looking at these same jobs as you are, so whoever takes it first gets it. Sometimes there'd be like a pile up and there'd be many jobs for you to choose from. Sometimes there'd be none for like hours on hours. So it really just depends. The availability is like not there, but it's honestly really great. If you have a whole afternoon, odds are you're going to get a couple jobs in. You also need to be able to get to these houses. So normally if you live in a city or if you're a college student, you don't really bring your car. And so I had a free bus pass, free train pass that came with my tuition. So I used that all the time. Otherwise it would not be worth it for me. It just, you have to get out to all these places and you need some way to get there. So if you have a car and you can drive around, then yeah, that's great. But you also have to remember you're paying for gas. And if you do need to pay for parking, then it's just not worth it. You have to be able to get to these places in an efficient manner, and also, not have to pay for parking while you're there, and make it, cost efficient for yourself. But making your hours was one of the greatest things, because if you have class, in the afternoon, and then like you have a whole afternoon free, you can schedule some walks for then, or if you have a whole weekend to do, a whole bunch of walks, then it's great, and you can make a whole bunch of money. You can crank out, 5-6 walks in a day, and then the next day you don't have to do any. So making your own hours was just amazing. And then I never had any problems with the Rover company in general. They always took care of anything basically for me, but I never had, any problems with dogs or owners or things like that. The only problems, I had 2 little problems, and that was when people would cancel on me and I was already out there, because so let me, quick story. I was in class and I took a job that was about, a half hour from now. So I finished up class, went home, got on the train, got to where I needed to go. As soon as I got there, it was about a half hour, so I was about ready to go into the person's house and to start the walk. And then they canceled on me. And I was like, are you kidding me? I just spent, the last 45 minutes getting ready to come here and actually getting here. And then they canceled right as I was there. And then after, this is actually the second part of my complaint, but it happened on the same day. So I was already out, in the suburbs. So I was like, okay, let's see if there's any other walks around me. And it turns out there was. And it wasn't too far away, about, 10-minute train ride or so. So I booked it, hopped back on the train, went to this new place, went, inside and tried to get the key from the lady at the desk. There was no key for me there. Whoever, had their key last did not return it, and so the dog didn't get to go for a walk, I didn't get to walk the dog, and I spent, 20 minutes waiting for them to try to contact the owner and trying to get into the apartment, but it was a no-go, and so I wasted about 2 hours or so that day just walking around, waiting, trying to get jobs, and it not actually happening. You don't get reimbursed for any of that, so I lost about 2 hours of time there trying to do all of that. So yeah, when people cancel, it really, really sucks, especially if they do it, 20, 30 minutes after you already booked them, because you're already on your way there. But that doesn't happen very often. I think it happened to me about 3 or 4 times, so it's not too bad. But in general, it was an amazing job. I'm very happy that I did it, and I would do it all over again if I was back into a big city. But living in a small town, there is 0 jobs available for this at all. So yeah, I would definitely do it all over again, and it was amazing for all the reasons that, I listed earlier. Just seeing the dogs and, being able to walk them, explore the neighborhoods, make money while doing it. It's just really, really nice. So yeah, I would definitely recommend it, and if you have any questions about anything about the Rover process or dog sitting, please let me know, and I will definitely get back to you in the comments section. But yeah, I think that's about it for this video. Otherwise, just, leave your comments down below, and I will get back to you about that. And if you did enjoy this video, please consider subscribing, because I have lots of other college and lifestyle videos out on my channel, and I'll have the playlist linked below if you want to check them out. And thank you for watching.